Last night we experienced extreme police brutality while defending Hinds Hall. Despite our peaceful protests, the police ambushed us. Nonetheless, our determination for the liberation of Palestine remains unshaken. Long live the student intifada. Palestine will... Woo!
Like clockwork, activists declaring police brutality simply because officers brought law and order to a campus that was overrun by protesters. The NYPD again called to take action today at Fordham University.
It's a similar scene across the nation as police are called in, but only after campus leaders have let these protests get completely out of hand. And it's leading to folks taking matters into their own hands.
The reason why this is happening is because Jews in LA have had enough. They've seen how these pro-Hamas protesters are treating Jewish students on campus, and they've said, fine, if UCLA administration is not going to do anything, if LAPD is not going to do anything, we're going to do something about it.
Here now with more on what they're experiencing firsthand on these campuses, NYPD Chief of Patrol John Chell, along with Kaz Daughtry, NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Operations. Kaz, I want to start with you. You were both there last night. You were both part of these operations of how to secure and get them, the protesters out of Hamilton Hall. Tell us a little bit about how that planning comes together. I was watching on TV. I know the rest of the world was watching, and just wondering how you do this with such precision.
It all started about 2:45 in the morning, yesterday morning for me, when I got the call from operations, our joint operations center, that the students / professional agitators / protesters / outside influencers took over the Hamilton Hall. They did alert me, they did wake me up. I then immediately got the Chief of Patrol on the phone, our Honorable Police Commissioner, our Chief of Department, the whole leadership team in. I gave them a quick update, and I said, listen, team, this is what's going on. And we all went back to bed, but tactically, we started thinking tactically, how is this going to look? Because we know there's no way in hell that Columbia is going to allow this to continue. So we were very anticipatory that we were going to receive a letter for requesting assistance from Columbia, and sure enough, that letter did come. But as soon as that letter came, immediately Chief of Department and the Police Commissioner has assembled their leadership team in the Chief of Department's conference room. We sent our drone team up there. We did an aerial surveillance of the actual school because our aviation was down. Immediately, we activated our tactical channel, our encryption channel, so that the protesters cannot listen to us, what we're going to do. And we were on the phone. We got the Columbia representatives from security, the public safety team came into the Chief of Department's office in the conference room, and they brought layouts, maps of the actual whole campus. So we started to plan, but then while we were planning, we got still photos and videos from the campus where they were showing the students before they broke every single camera on the inside of the Hamilton House. But they did show enough that we knew that they were barricading and fortifying the doors to allow us from entering. And I got some props here. This is one of the chains that we took off the doors.
Oh my God.
That our emergency service team had to cut in order to gain entry. But we did flank them because we sent a team in as the pretending to cut the doors, and we actually went through the window. So we kind of
a little rope-a-dope. I love it, John.
Yes.
You know, coming to you, in police work, you see a lot. You do see a lot of protests. You see a lot of peaceful protests, people who exercise their First Amendment rights. I'm a former prosecutor. What burns me is to see these protesters and their sympathizers talk about this being a peaceful protest, where they're breaking windows with hammers and chains and barricading themselves in, you know, criminal damage to property, breaking cameras. What did you see when you went in, and any truth to it was a peaceful protest?
No, that's pure delusion. If you look at the girl that was just on speaking, the classic no accountability, I'm a spoiled child, I break the rules, and instead of being accountable, now I'm gonna play the victim. Well, not in the city. So we went on campus last night to enforce the laws, the burglary of the hall, the school's request for the trespassing. We went in there very heavy. We wanted to send a message to the world, to the city. That's not happening here. And our cops did a great job. No one got hurt, no incidents, and we send a very strong message.
And let me just chime into that, add on to what Chief of Patrol said. When the ESU team made entry, the community response made entry, which everybody saw that image around the world with the Bearcat pulling up to the window with the ladder and the cops going through the window, which I was myself and the Deputy Commissioner of Public Information was on that truck, and we actually did this in the window. down to the first floor. There was about 50 students. When the ESU team opened the front door, I want you to picture this. The ESU opens the door, they cut all the chains off, and our teams come down. So we kind of had them boxed in. And immediately, one guy wants to negotiate.
Yeah.
Negotiations are over. You're going to jail.
When it comes to the university
Yes.
staff, maybe there's negotiating. When it comes to the NYPD, as you said, it's over. But also iconic are some of the images that we've seen on campus with the Palestinian flags and what they've been doing to American flags. But then that American flag was raised.
Yes. So I'll talk about that. I want to get one thing out. The professional agitators, the outside agitators, the people that are coming from the outside are radicalizing these students. I just want to say that. Yeah. We don't know what they're telling them, but this is organized. You know, last Sunday, 50 cars came to Columbia University to drop off supplies. 50.
Not a coincidence.
But the question is it coming from the outside, which maybe that's true, but they're being radicalized, I think, you know, whether it's through social media or at the universities or in their K through 12 schools. We just showed a picture of that flag being raised. Yeah. Kaz, quickly, were you there for that? Was that you in the shot?
Yes, I was there with the Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, and then when we came into that school, they all made a human chain, and obviously they didn't want to leave. They passively resisted. However, we took them all into custody. The school staff was taking down the Palestinian flag, and I yelled out to the crew, to the group, hey, anybody got an American flag? And I asked them what flag was there before. Was it a CUNY flag or an American flag? And they told me it was an American flag. I said, put Old Glory back where it belongs, on that flagpole.
I love that. John, real quick, do you have an elite team? Do you call in the best of the best? Obviously, the world's watching as you guys go in. Do you have a certain group of guys, men and women, that go and execute
So we
this?
called in some of our best crime-fighting chiefs last night to do that perimeter, to do the inside, to do the hole they took. Our best cops, our strategic response group, our emergency services second to none. And then you got the young cops who were kind of guarding the whole flank, standing tall to kind of lock us in. I just couldn't be more proud of them. And I think the city, we did this for the city last night. They deserved it.
You guys made your city proud. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Jackie, great celebrating 2 days
Great
with
to
you.
be here with you.
See you all tomorrow.